and love. We got many global in the building. Shout out to Indiana and Michigan. Peace and love, man. We got Gunner, Avic L in the building. We got Gary Yancey in the building. We got Shavante in the building. Peace and love. Peace and love. Let me know where you tuned in from. We got some other people in the building too. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? We about to go over some great information tonight. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. Y'all might as well kick it with Don Kalam. I'm actually finishing up rolling up this L. And then we're going to get straight into it. I got Davina Bay in the building with me.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
She hiding from the camera.
Nah, you just like all that shining glory to yourself.
Nah.
It's not big enough for the both of us, G.
Come on over here, girl. Come on over here. This is what we're going over today. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all, man, a simple status correction. You know, but a lot of people don't understand it as status correction, so I don't even know how to express it. We'll just call it affidavit declaring truth. Some people call it affidavit of truth, affidavit of sovereignty. It goes by a lot of different names. I bet you good, you good. I'm going to use the table.
That's why I was over there.
I'm going to use the table. Sweet A18, peace and love, King. She says, peace and love to you, goddess. You always sending donations, too. When y'all send donations, that makes me nice. It makes me fall in love with you guys. You know, I'm not a licensed attorney or a tax expert. I do this for educational and informational purposes only. If you find,
obviously, it can be very entertaining.
Yes, if you find this information valuable. See, I put up there 20. You think this is worth 20 or 10? How much? 20
or 10?
Yeah, we're going to give it to the people for 10, all right? That's
yeah,
cool.
10 sounds more feasible.
Everybody got $10.
Because, yes, everybody has $10, but here's the thing. If you give me this information and I don't use it, did I waste my $10? No, because it was just $10.
Re-slang it. But because I'm going to give it to you in the Word format. You can do whatever you want to it. Put your own information, put your logo on it. Whatever you want to do with it, do with it. You know what I'm saying? Make some money. But look, here's the thing. Send $10. Drop the donation in the Cash App. And tell them the very most important thing to do.
Put your information in the memo box.
Your
email
address.
Okay?
Please.
Because how are we going to send this stuff to you if you don't send us email? And then if we have to send you a request to get your email, that's going to cost a buckaroo, boo.
I'll charge an extra $1. I might start charging $5. Go up on it. Y'all might remember. Get a match. Get a match. I don't know where the lighters are. Oh, here they are. They all over here. I got one. She keeps the matches.
Matches are more healthy.
Yeah. I like the Bics. Yeah.
What he means is he likes the butane.
Flick the Bic. So look, it says the purpose is to learn the simplest form of status correction and unplug from the matrix to bring you back to your prosperity way of thinking. And the final product is to operate in commerce correctly and efficiently as a free man or a free woman. If you desire the manuscripts being read, send $10 donation via Cash App to the Don Kalam. Put your email address in the memo box with hashtag secure status for application of secure status documents. Okay? Be sure to do that. All right? And I am receiving donations as we speak. I'm going to, hey, man, I appreciate it. We got Geraldine in the building. Geraldine, I appreciate that, man. I'm going to take my phone off the mute button. All right? I'm going to take it off the mute so y'all can hear everybody that's dropping donations tonight because we appreciate it. We really do appreciate your donations. We really do. Appreciate you. Now, so we got Geraldine. Appreciate you. And she put her email address in the memo box. Let me pull it up. Because I broke both my phones, so they glitching. So my apologies. I'm getting them fixed tomorrow. Because I don't want to lose the valuable information. I'm going to try to save everybody's information. So, Shout them out. Shout them out. Go ahead.
Shout out to Gunnar Advic L. Shout out to Geraldine OG.
All right. And after the class, I'm gonna make sure you get the documents. So just wait till after the class. I'm gonna make sure you get the documents because they both put their email addresses in the memo box, and we appreciate that.
Yes.
It makes our job a whole lot easier. We got Mina. Thank you so much for the donation. We got Nicole. Thank you so much for the donation. We got Severe. Thank you so much for the donation. We appreciate that, man. We got Solomon. Appreciate you. Cardone. I appreciate you. Andres. Tamayo. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Herbert. Appreciate you. All the Cash App donations. All right. Now we're gonna get to the lecture because this is what you've been waiting for. All right. Right Back Entertainment says, peace and love. I was trying to locate how can I pay so I can get the OID videos. We're trying to pay so I can become a private member. Private members are not $9.99. To become a private
Netflix account.
Become a private member, go to MalikKilam.com. That's what you're going to do. MalikKilam.com. Okay? I'm about to spark up. I'm about to share the screen for y'all too. I'm giving y'all this game right here. This is worth $10 right here, what I'm about to give you. Promise you that. And go to the store. We're still slinging merchandise. They're not allowing us to do the memberships right now. It's on suspension. Whoops. There we go. Thank you, whoever sent that. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Now let's get to it. These are the documents you're gonna get. Like I said, as always, we're not licensed attorneys or tax experts. We do this for educational and informational purposes only. And sometimes it can be quite entertaining. Yeah. Show your beautiful face, Davina Bay. If you ain't got us on the Instagram is Don_Kilam. That's DON_KILAM. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is ASCONFAB. That's Ace Confab on Instagram. Hit me up.
Now, appreciate the donations. Now listen, affidavit declaring truths. Equality under the law is paramount and mandatory by law. I, Jeffrey Wayne of the family McBride, a titled sovereign, hereby declare that I am competent to manage all my own affairs. All other entities are incompetent to manage any of my affairs and are hereby fired. A sovereign cannot be tried in their own court. And starting off, I just want to let people know, like, when you're going into this thing, you got to understand this is estate planning. You got to understand what an estate is. You're deemed dead in the law's eyes, and now the government is planning your estate. They still need your permission, but they know that you're dead and you really don't know what's going on. Does that make sense? Did I explain that clearly?
That makes sense. The most valuable thing you own is your signature and your fingerprints.
Now, consistent with the eternal traditions of natural common law, unless I have harmed or violated someone or their property, I have committed no crime, and I am therefore not subject to any penalty. Thus be it known to all in the nature of UCC 1-308 that I reserve my natural common law right not to be compelled to perform under any contract that I did not enter into knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally. And furthermore, I do not accept the liability associated with the compelled and pretended benefit of any hidden or unrevealed contract or commercial agreement. As such, the hidden or unrevealed contracts that supposedly create obligations to perform for persons of subject status are inapplicable to me and are null and void. If I am participating in any of the supposed benefits associated with these hidden contracts, I have done so under duress for lack of any other practical alternatives. Any such participation does not constitute acceptance in contract law because of the absence of full disclosure of any valid offer and voluntary consent without misrepresentation or coercion under contract law. Without a valid voluntary offer and acceptance knowingly entered into by both parties, there is no meeting of the minds and therefore no valid contract. Any supposed contract is therefore void ab initio. All right, you ready to take over?
Yes. Typical examples of the compelled and pretend benefits are your birth certificate. Birth certificate was granted by a local hospital or government agency when you entered the world, and it's relevant to sovereignty. So no status, high or low, can be assigned to another person through a piece of paper without the recipient's full knowledge and consent. Therefore, such piece of paper provides only hearsay, date, and place information only. It indicates nothing about jurisdiction, nothing about property ownership or rights, subject status. The only documents that can have any legal meaning as it concerns status in society are those which have been signed as an adult with full knowledge and consent from the misrepresentation or coercion of any kind. The birth certificate has been redeemed in private irrevocable trust, for none can hold claim to the straw man nor to my natural self.
The use of an identification number from a government agency. The number normally assigned to persons of subject status. I use exceptionally under duress only because of the extreme inconvenience of operating without one in today's marketplace, where it is requested by banks, employers, lenders, and many other government agencies and businesses. My reason for using it is not because I wish to participate in the system, as I don't wish to participate. Let it be known that I use the number assigned to me for information only, if at all.
The use of fiat currency to discharge my debts. I've used these only because in this country there's no other widely recognized currency. The use of a bank account with my signature on the bank signature card. If there's any hidden contract behind the bank signature card, my signature thereon gives no validity to it. The signature is only for verification of identity. I can be obligated to fulfill no hidden or unrevealed contract whatsoever due to the absence of full disclosure and voluntary consent. Likewise, my use of the bank therefore is due to the absence of a bank not associated with the central bank system. In general, people have been prevented from issuing their own currency, and such prevention is in violation of the national constitution. Were there an alternative, I would be happy to use it. To not use any bank at all is impossible or very difficult, as everyone knows in today's marketplace.
Now, so far, I just want it to be known that examples of such compelled pretended benefits are the birth certificate. It's a contract. The use of the identification number, hence the Social Security trust contract. It's a contract. The use of fiat currency to charge any debt it's a note, so it's part of a contract. The use of a bank account with the signature is a contract. Okay? Agree? You agree?
I agree.
Is there any simpler way you can put it for people that's maybe new to this?
Okay, a contract. It's anything that you have to sign, or not even. It's not even always like you having to sign. 'Cause it could be a verbal contract, like, I tell you I'm gonna be there tomorrow. Okay, that's a verbal contract. So, I mean, a contract is like you giving somebody your word, saying you're gonna do something. So simple as that. You sign it, you agree to it. It's a contract.
Anything you sign with these people is a contract. Any corporation, I don't care if you go on Macy's, you're signing up for their card, you're volunteering information that really the United States corporation has access to and can control.
Contract.
Simple as that.
And you probably didn't read the fine print, so contract.
Facebook, now they're controlling your rights to speak.
And they also give you that little you pretty much, in order to even get the Macy's card or to get the Facebook account, you have to agree. Like, you have to agree, or they're gonna say, "Nah, you can't get it." So
it's one thing to agree on the public side, but you need to learn how to disagree in the private and learn how to accept everything for value and still keep your rights intact on the private side. It's okay to operate in commerce. We understand. This is what we're going over.
How to operate in commerce.
Number 5, past tax returns filed. Any tax returns I may have filed in the past were filed due to the dishonest atmosphere of fear and intimidation created by the tax collector in the local assessor's office. Not because there's any law requiring me to do so, because there's not one. Once I discovered the tax agencies are lying to the public, I have felt it is my responsibility and duty to society to terminate my voluntary participation. Because such returns were filed under threat, duress, and coercion, TDC. Remember that. Threat, duress, and coercion, because those can always get you out the contract.
Yes.
And no two-way contract was ever signed with full disclosure. There is nothing in any past filing of returns that created any valid contract. Therefore, no legal obligation on my part was ever created. And you see, we keep saying contract and threat, duress, and coercion because first and foremost, the Internal Revenue Service of the IRS is not licensed to do business in any state. There's no contract between two parties. So how can a debt ever be validated until you validate it yourself?
Yes, a debt is only validated when you say, yeah, that's my debt. When you claim that debt, do not claim that debt because you are not that person.
Tell them to prove their authority to make the assessment and the claim. The use of a driver's license. As a free sovereign, there's no legal requirement for me to have such a license for traveling in my car. As technically, the unrevealed legal purpose of driver's license is commercial in nature. Since I don't carry passengers or freight for hire, there is no law requiring me to have a license to travel for my own pleasure and that of my family and friends. However, because of the lack of education of police officers on this matter, should I be stopped for any reason and found to be without a license, it is likely I would be harassed. Therefore, under duress, I carry a license to avoid extreme inconvenience.
Very, very true. They will inconvenience your entire life.
Another contract? What's the next contract?
Another contract is the plates on your car. So even though technically your car does not fit the legal definition of a motor vehicle, which is used for commercial purposes, nevertheless, it's registered with the state and carries the state plates on it because to have any other plates or no plates at all causes the risk of police officers harassing and again causing extreme inconvenience.
Now, what I want to add is why... Listen, you got to understand. This is a free country. This is what people's not understanding. This is truly a free country. There's no longer any government. Everybody's free for all. Everybody's sovereign. The so-called what you think is a state is a big-ass gang, and they out here running shit.
Criminal gang activity.
But they only have certain rules they can go by, so they use certain tools to intimidate and scare you.
Loopholes.
But if you knew who you was, you would know that you're controlling them. They're working for you. I don't know how much... Listen, under 28 USC, listen, they do not lie to you. We gonna go to 28 USC.
3002?
Yeah, we got to.
Okay.
Until it makes sense to the people, because I don't think they understand. Listen, what is Walmart? Is that a corporation?
Yes, it is.
What is Kmart?
A corporation.
What is Target? What is the United States?
A federal corporation.
So
maybe people are scared because like Walmart and Target, like they're just like corporations, but the United States, like, whoa, that's a federal corporation. People get scared when they hear that word federal.
Walmart has guns too, right? Don't they got security guards?
Yeah, I guess they sell guns.
You know, name other businesses that got guards out, especially in this pandemic right now.
Yes.
The dispensaries, they got guards. It's no different than any other corporation, except the United States owns these minor corporations. They all got their
corporation under the umbrella.
And here's the difference: Walmart has goods. Kmart has goods. So what I'm trying to say is, this is the United States goods. It's the ones we're going over, the contracts. This is how they make money. Don't you pay for a license?
Yes, you do.
Don't you pay for things that you think you deemed are supposed to have?
You pay to register. You pay to register to vote.
You pay for electricity and water.
You pay for a marriage license. You pay for citizenship.
This is how they get paid. They stripped all your culture away and they get paid off your shit.
If you lose your birth certificate, you have to pay to get that.
They took your culture, they took your morals, they took your values, and they get paid off it. And you pay them for your shit.
Yeah, that's no good.
You pay them. Listen, you don't understand. Look, even in these public education systems, that shit costs money, right?
Yeah, well, see, they try to say that school is free, but like, okay, technically.
And then what about college?
Okay, we're not talking about college. We're talking about school.
But the end result is
yeah,
go to
but
college,
it's not
right?
free though, because okay, with college you have debts. With high school, middle school, and elementary school, you got the lunch. Unless you want to say, "Oh, I'm a poor person, so I get free lunch."
But then they get more grants.
Yeah, exactly.
From the government.
Exactly, they get more benefits
because that's what they created.
Yeah,
more.
So I mean, it's free. Here's the thing. It's free education. We didn't say school was free. We said the education was free. So the information that we're providing is free. However, to do anything extra, it costs. If you want to get a yearbook, if you want to eat lunch, if you want to get a snack, if you want to make friends and fit in, and you have to wear nice clothes, and you have to buy school supplies, and yeah, all that jazzy stuff. So yeah, I mean, the education is free.
But they should have got a private education. Because this is what you learn in the private education. You learn how to make money.
And that's
peace and love. We got Be Better Rentals in the building. And the private education, you learn how to make money. So the United States corporation, its job is to feed you these contracts because that's how they get paid, because that's their service. Now, they got 2 pills for you. They got 2 contracts for you. Listen, I'm going to give you your rights if you got the private education. If you got the public education, I'm going to take your shit and you're going to pay me for it.
And we'll give you privileges. Pay for your privileges.
So, Declaration of Citizenship. Any document I may have ever signed in which I answered yes to the question, are you a United States citizen or any other type of citizen, cannot be used to compromise my status as a sovereign, nor obligate me to perform in any matter. This is because without full written disclosure of the definition and consequences of such supposed citizenship provided in a document bearing my signature given freely without misrepresentation or coercion, there can be no legally binding contract. I make no allegiance to any earthly government. I am neutral to all. Number 9.
Past voter registration. Similarly, since no obligation to perform in any manner was ever revealed in print as part of the requirement for the supposed privilege to vote for government officials, any such previous registration on my part cannot be legal evidence of any obligation to perform. Likewise, I've granted no jurisdiction over me to any political office. It is my inherited right to vote on elections or issues that I feel affect all of society, not because I need anyone to rule over me. On the contrary, I have used the voting process only to instruct my public servants what a citizen and sovereign would like done.
I like that. Number 10, the marriage license. The acquisition of a marriage license is now being revealed as being necessary only for slaves. The act of a sovereign such as myself obtaining such a license through social custom and ignorance of law has no legal effect in changing my status. This is because any such change in status, if any, may be supposed to occur, could happen only through a hidden and unrevealed contract or statute. Since no hidden, unrevealed, and undisclosed information, if it exists, can be lawfully held to binding, it is null and void. And this goes in part with every affidavit has to be rebuted point by point. So we're rebuting every contract in the affidavits that we sign with these officials.
Facts. Children in public school. The attendance of my children in government-supported public schools or government-controlled private schools does not create any legal tax obligation for me or any other legal obligation because I never signed a contract agreeing to such obligation for a supposed privilege of public school attendance. If any of my children have attended government-supported public or controlled private schools, such was done under duress and not out of free will. Be it known that I regard compulsory state education as a violation of the natural and universal common law of freedom of choice?
The use of semantics, and this is important, man. There are some immature people with mental imbalances, such as the craving to dominate over other people, who masquerade as government. Just because they alter definitions of words in the law books to their supposed advantage doesn't mean we have to accept those definitions. The fact that they define the word person, address, mail, resident, motor vehicle, driving, passenger, employee, and income, and many others in a way different from the common uses, so as to be associated with a subject or slave status, means nothing in real life. Because the courts have become entangled in the game of semantics, be it known to all courts and all parties that if I ever signed any document or spoke any words on the record using words defined by twists in the law books different from the common usage, there can be no effect whatsoever on my sovereign status in society. Thereby, nor can there be created any obligations to perform in any matter by the mere use of such words, where the meaning in the common dictionary differs from the meaning in the law dictionary. It is the meaning in the common dictionary that prevails because it is more trustworthy. And I need you to know, when filing this, man, the first place I would file this is with the district courts, the chief judge, the district courts in your local area. Not with the state, with the district courts, chief judge, not a magistrate. Make sure you get a real chief judge. And go ahead and I would give a copy to the IRS too. Such compelled and supposed benefits include, but are not limited to, the aforementioned typical examples. My use of such alleged benefits is under duress only and is with full reservation of all my common law rights. I have waived none of my intrinsic rights and freedoms by my use thereof. Furthermore, my use of such compelled benefits may be temporary until better alternatives become available, practicable, and widely recognized. Now, and it's breaking down the federal jurisdiction as well. We don't need to go over that. Understand that the federal jurisdiction is the District of Columbia. When the definition of the United States being used here is limited to its territories, and that's it. Federal agencies within the 50 states. Your state is always sovereign. And it's breaking down within and without. And then state stare decisis, Supreme Court decisions. All right. And then it's the revocating all the powers of attorney. All right. That's what it's doing. Revocating all previous powers of attorney. It's making you the natural person or the natural man or woman over your estate now. Get that notarized. Read through it. Understand everything that it means. It breaks down the Lodial title. Now, the next document, and if you want these documents that we're going over, make sure you leave a $10 donation. Put hashtag secure status in your email address in the memo box. The Don Kilam on the Cash App. So, it shows that the name is trademarked out the gate. You see that?
Yeah. Care
of, so we're not in the jurisdiction.
Facts, always.
Continental America. You follow me?
Yeah, and then you got the brackets with the zip codes.
Yes. It's there for you, man. It's in red. You can't mess it up. Now, it's a legal entity for use in commerce. You could either put your EIN number or your social right there. Whatever works for you, whatever you understand. Just you put yourself, a living natural, male or female, in a secured party. This is the affidavit of status as secured party and creditor. I, Jeffrey Wayne, the other family, McBride. You know, anything with a semicolon makes it a fact, correct?
Yes.
All right. The sole authorized agent for the debtor and by the sovereign administrative judgment hereby serve your office with official notice of my lawful standing as sovereign secured party and creditor. I have supreme authoritative power of attorney, sole security interest, and am the holder in due course of the first right of claim over the debtor evidenced by a $100 billion bond. Is that billion or is that? Yeah, that's billion. $1 billion commercial lien. I control all affairs of the debtor, own all assets of the debtor, and am exempt from levy and relieved of all liability from the debtor. Notice, the following lawful establishment shall apply upon this notice. You liking this notice, ain't you? Man, you ain't never went over this, have we?
No, I don't think so. I think I went over it by myself, though.
I'll send it to you?
I have it.
Okay. So I've used this in court.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Before I even understood what was going on, this got me off it doesn't matter what it got me off of. But listen, you shouldn't be stealing. Now listen, all commercial contracts listing the debtor have been lawfully canceled, rescinded, and revoked and are invalid and unenforceable. As a sovereign creditor and secured party, I am distinguished and set apart as a separate entity. This light is bright, boy.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. I can see. Alright, as a sovereign creditor and secured party, I'm distinguished and set apart as a separate entity from the debtor, established so by lawful filings into the public with notice with the Secretary of State and the United States Treasurer. My identity, Jeffrey Wayne McBride Jr., all caps, trademarked and copywritten, is copywritten and no agency or person has authorization to use it, disclose, report, list, or store my name or my personal information for any purpose. Your agency is hereby ordered by estoppel to remove all computer entries, records, histories, paper documents, references, and details in the name of the debtor and give notice to the secured party addressed below. Failure to comply is considered an international criminal action under the Uniform Commercial Codes with severe penalties at law. They scared now, ain't they? No agency or corporate entity shall have jurisdiction over the secure party whatsoever, the flesh and blood, man or woman, trademarked Jeffrey Wayne of the family McBride, copywritten, does not require licenses or permissions to exercise any natural rights. If you find this affidavit of status as secured party and creditor to be in error in rebuttal of the points herein to the secured party and creditor signed by an authorized representative or attorney for your corporation under oath and agreement to testify to the facts and understand before a jury under penalty of perjury. Furthermore, if your corporate agency has any lawful commercial claim against the sentient flesh and blood non-corporate natural man, Jeffrey Wayne McBride of the family McBride, submit it within 10 days of the date of the notice to the address below with valid proof of claim. If an authorized representative of your agency fails to respond with a valid affidavit of truth in the form of a rebuttal or does not or cannot provide a true bill of commerce and a complete assessment of any commercial claim against my natural being, or you ignore the notice and remain silent without stating your claim for a period of 10 days, then you accept my claim of lawful establishment herein by tacit agreement, and my affidavit stands as truth in commerce. Your default under the maxims of the law will constitute your agreement that any alleged claim against this living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient, natural, and sovereign creditor and secured party, Jeffrey Wayne and his family, the bride of unfounded common law, and thus do not and cannot exist. Now,
that was a mouthful. How did it taste?
Now, let me see if we got anybody. Whoops, I'm just clicking everything, ain't I?
All over the place there, huh?
Yeah. He said, Chief Loco says, thank you, Don Kalam. Chef Loco, my bad. Now, with that, I'm going to put them back on the screen. Now, you find that information valuable, you already know what to do. Leave a donation at the Don Kalam on the Cash App. Go to donkalam.com/donate or Malik Kilam and choose the donation option. Now, with all that being said, tell me what you think about it. Let's hear what you think about it. Let's hear a feminine.
Let's hear what I think about the status correction. Everything that you just said. Honestly, okay, well, I agree with most of it. The driver's license is a contract. The birth certificate is a contract. I mean, pretty much everything that you do on a day-to-day basis is like a contract. So definitely know how to enter contracts and not be liable for them if there are any hidden adhesions in the contract. So definitely, yeah. I mean, you already know how I feel about the whole birth certificate thing. Like, CRM, Criminal Resource Manual, Section 1508 says that it's not meant to identify you. So, like, everybody can just trade birth certificates and it wouldn't really matter. So, I mean, definitely it's all contracts. And, yeah, just be aware of the contracts and how you enter them. So that's why I feel like this is also super important, because you need to rescind all those BS contracts. You feel me? So, yeah, just read it thoroughly and make sure you understand all the definitions of the words, because like I said, like I like the part in there how it was talking about, like, we understand these certain words to mean certain things, but they have it to a different definition of whatever it means. So it's like, yeah, definitely understand the full definition of the words, because your ass be getting played out here. No, I'm just playing, but you really do, but not really. But
no, so especially to a beginner,
yes.
What would you say that? Because I'm telling them $10, and you understand especially if you speak this out loud. If you speak it out loud every day, the more it's gonna make sense. Because
right.
some people don't understand what any of this means. There's lost in the sauce. So we got some. I would say for beginners, this would be a great place to start to understand what a secure party creditor is. Truly,
I agree.
The transition. There's definitely more to it. But these documents truly helped me get out of a case. That first document that we went over and the second document, they've helped me get out of a few different cases. One being federal.
Okay.
Would
you care to elaborate?
I mean, I was in, counterfeiting obligations in the United States. I was learning. I used the affidavit, the first affidavit. I put that on the record. A reservation of rights on the record. But I did label it affidavit of sovereignty. But it really doesn't matter what you label it, as long as you put these on the record. Is because those are the contracts that they have you under when they're reclassifying you as black or a color. And on the back of each document, I signed them, just like a check, and all rights reserved. And I had standing in court. They had to listen to me. But I know that the state courts are not going to recognize. They'll put them on the record, but they're not going to recognize these. You have to implement it in the district courts or the federal courts or the superior courts in your jurisdiction. Not a magistrate judge either. It has to be a chief judge or a real judge.
Yeah.
The state courts are always going to deny it because they know they're doing wrong. But they have to remain honorable. That makes them stand honor.
Right.
Because they're acting in fiction. These are fiction characters. These are government actors. They tell you these are fictional characters. And truly, when you begin to know who you are, you can start seeing between these lines, man, and thinking outside the boxes. I don't know how much simpler I can make it than that. I appreciate all the donations from everybody, man. Much peace and love. I don't know how long we went on, but I'm gonna send those files to everybody that dropped the donations tonight, man. Much peace and love. DON_KILAM on the Instagram. What's your Instagram, babe?
ASCONFAB, ASCONFAB.
Spell it for them one more time.
ASCONFAB. Follow me.
And I'm telling you, I'm slanging Instagram and Facebook story posts too for any businesses out there. I'm telling you, hit me up, man. $100, man. I say for 24 hours, but I'm gonna put it for 5 days for you, man. So hit me up for that as well, man. We got the Instagram, Facebook ads. We got short YouTube short videos for you. Whatever, man. I'm slinging ads, man, because we got an outreach for our people, man. And nationality is the order at the end of the day. And then learning how to build business credit so you can because prosperity is your birthright, period. Learn how to get abundance of things, man. It feels much better being able to do whatever I want and have whatever I want, for real.
Agreed.
And it just starts by knowing who you are, because the world is yours and everything in it. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you can have what you want. As simple as that. Peace and love, man. Go to MalikKilam.com now. MalikKilam.com and be looking out, man. Because September we about to drop something big in Atlanta, so be looking out for a lookout at that. We're still putting it together, but be looking out. Atlanta, Georgia, September, like the third week of September, man. We're gonna be hitting it big. I'm trying to tell you, business meetings, music, all of that. That's just what it is. Much peace and love. Remember, prosperity is your birthright. Beaches. I was waiting on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to say beaches.